Good morning, grade 3 students. How are you? This is our seventh English lecture for week 26. What do we have in this lecture? First, we're going to read and spell words with silent letters, deduce the author's point of view, find the meaning of a word through prefixes, and recall the features of an expository genre. You can refer to ISI Mega Pack, pages 45 till 56, and the Reading Writing Workshop, pages 132 till 139. Let's start with what are the skills covered. The first section is about phonics, silent letter. Then we will move on to vocabulary, then to the reading lesson. And at the end, we have some other skills that we need to practice. The phonics. In the phonics lesson, as we said, it's about silent letters. In some consonant, okay, we're talking about consonant combinations. One of the letters is silent, okay? As you can see here, for example, the W and R, M and B, G and N, S and C. I will show you the difference between the first column and the second column, okay? For example, in the first one, I have the word rose, R-O-Z, rose. I begin, the beginning sound of the word is R, and the beginning letter also is R. Whereas in the second word, I have the word right, R. I'm beginning with the sound R and not W. So this makes the letter W silent, right. Second one, I have the word map. You can hear me saying map. However, in the second column, I do not say, for example, lamb. That's wrong, okay? When I have M and B, these two consonant letters, letter B becomes silent. So I say lamb. The ending sound is m. Now here I have nest. I'm saying all the letters, you can hear them. N-E-st, n-e-st. However, when I have this word nat, the letter G is silent, nat. Next, I have the word sun, s-a-n. The second one, I have scent. I do not say sk, I say scent. Letter C is silent. This is our list, our phonics spelling list that you need to practice. I have the word wrap. I begin with the letter R. Wreck, wreath, night. See, the letter K is silent. Gnome, letter G is silent. Wrists, ring, knit, knock, sign, wrote, W is silent, write, knife, knee, and nose. Now, we're going to learn the meanings of these words. For example, wrap. Here, the word wrap, the W is silent, and I say r-ap. Wrap is like when you wrap a gift, okay, with this special paper and ribbon. Wrap, you wrap a gift. Next word, I have the word wreck. W is silent. Wreck. Wreck means ruined, broken, destroyed, just like this car is wrecked. Now I have the word gnome. Gnome. This is a gnome. It's like some kind of marble statue that usually placed in gardens. Gnome. The next one is the wrists. Wrist. Okay, here's the wrist. You can wear a bracelet in your wrist. Next, I have wreath. Wreath. So a wreath is some kind of decoration, Christmas decoration that people hang on doors. Wreath. Next one is a knight. A knight is like a soldier, but long time ago they used to be called knights. So this is a knight. Here I have the word ring. Ring. To ring is to twist in that way. Means to ring, to twist something. Next I have the word knit. Knit. You know, you use some mothers, maybe your mother likes to do some knitting. Knitting. So this is the word knit. Here I have the word knee. The K is silent. Knee. This is the knee here. Okay, knee. And next I have the word gnaws. Gnaws. When you gnaw on something, you chew, just like this. So here I have the word gnaws. Gnaws. To gnaw is to chew on something, usually to sharpen animals. Some animals do that, usually to sharpen their teeth. Okay, maybe they're trying to build a house or something. Okay, for example, we have squirrels, we have chipmunks, and we have beavers, like this one. Let's do some practice. Write the missing letters to make a spelling word. Write the spelling word on the line. Now this one, you can find it on Megapack page 54. We have app. So what are the two missing letters? One of them is silent and the other one is the combination. It is W and R, wrap. Next one, wrists. Wrists, which one has the same letters with only W and R missing? Number 3, I have the word wrote, O-T-E. Which one? Wrote. It's down here, so W-R is missing. Next one, I have egg. You can see the second word, wreck, is missing these two letters. I-N-G, I can be ring, ring. I-T-E, it can be right, right. E-A-T-H, it's the third word, wreath. I-N-T, it has to be knit. I-F-E, this is a knife. I-G-H-T, this has to be night. O-C-K, this is knock. Double E, this is the word knee. O-M-E, this is the word gnome. S-I, this is sign. And number 15, we have A-W-S, this is the word nose. Okay, so you have to write these words again on these lines. Now you can move on to Megapack page 55. Write the spelling word that matches each clue below. You do this when you cover a gift with paper. So what do you do when you want to cover a gift with paper? It means you wrap, wrap. Number 2, there is something you would do at a door. If you stand by a door, what should you do? You should knock at the door. Number 3, this tells you which street you are on. Okay, what do we call that on the streets? We call them signs. You would use this to cut vegetables. This is easy. It is a knife. You hang it on doors during holidays. This is wreath. Awesome words. Now we finished number 1, the phonics. We will move on to the second part of our lecture, which is awesome words or vocabulary. I have the words announced. Try to say it with me. Announced. Announced. Second one is candidates. Candidates. Number 3 is convince. Convince. Number 4, decisions. Decisions. Second column, I have elect. Elect. Second one is estimate. Estimate or estimate. Government. 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 And the last one is independent. Independent. Now we have the word announced. What does it mean? If you announced something, you told people about it. For example, Miss Parks announced the winner of the contest. So you want to announce, you tell people about something. When has someone announced your name? Maybe you were participating in a contest, talent show, okay, and then the teacher announced your name. Next word, I have the word candidates. Candidates. Candidates are people who seek an office or honor. When you grow up, you are going to vote for candidates, people who are running or who seek an office, position, or honor. Andrew is one of 4 candidates for class president. Even at school, you don't have to wait until you grow up. For example, I have here 1, 2, 3, and this is apparently the winner. I have 4 candidates who were running for class president, and Andrew here is the winner. What are some things candidates do before an election? Okay, so Andrew here did something, so he convinced other students to vote for him. We have to know what do candidates do before election. I have the word convince. To convince is to cause someone to believe or do something. Okay, just like we said, the candidate convinced the students to vote for him. For example, Julia's mother tried to convince her to play soccer. Maybe she's telling her how good soccer is, or that's a good sport. What is something someone tried to convince you to do? I'm sure your mom tried to convince you to eat broccoli, for example. Let's watch this small video.
Convince. To convince is to cause someone to believe or do something.
So as you can see, that I don't think that the daughter is quite convinced. Second one, I have the word decisions. Decisions. When you make a decision, you make a choice. Nick made 2 decisions about what to eat for breakfast. Let's see the clip to find out what are his decisions.
Decisions. When you make a decision, you make a choice.
So apparently he decided to have cereal with milk and juice. I don't know if this is an egg. Probably it's an egg. Name 2 decisions you make every day. Elect. I have the word elect. To elect is to choose by voting. So elect means choosing, okay? But you choose by voting. It means you write the name of the candidate on a piece of paper and then you put it in this box, ballot box. The students voted to elect means to choose a new class president. What is another word for elect? Now I have the word estimate. Now an estimate, you're already studying rounding in math, right? I know that. So it's an estimate is it's like when you round up, okay, you try to guess what is the number. To estimate is to guess an amount. For example, if you looked at this jar, you can see that it has lots of money. So you cannot say, for example, I have 80, I think it is 81, okay? You may say, I think it's almost 80 or 90, for example. So here Sam tried to estimate or guess the number of coins he had. What does it mean to estimate something? It means to guess the amount.
Estimate. To estimate is to guess an amount.
See, so he's guessing that he may have, I think he wrote 190. Now I have the word government. Government. A government is the people who guide a city or a state or country. Okay, so here we have in Lebanon we have government, of course. Okay, so these are the people who guide our country. For example, our government makes laws. Laws, these are rules. So our government makes laws. Think of one law our government has made. You can think of many laws have been made during the corona epidemic. Here I have the word independent. Independent. I think you're familiar with this word from our grammar lesson, right? Independent sentence. If you are independent, it means you do things for yourself. You don't need anyone to depend on. You are an independent person. For example, it's good to be independent and do things on your own. How can you help be more independent at home? Maybe having your own room, for example. That's it. We finished our vocab words. Now let's practice. Match each word to its definition. Write the correct letter next to each definition. You can find this exercise on Megapack page 46. Number 1, I have cause someone to do something. Cause someone to do something. This is the word convince. To convince is to cause someone to do something. So I write letter B. Number 2, choose by voting. Which word means choose? Do you remember? To choose by voting is to elect. Elect. So it's C. Number 3, guess based on knowledge. To guess. To guess based on knowledge, it means to estimate. Number 4, judgment reached. It means you made up your mind. Okay, just like the boy who made up his mind about his breakfast. Judgment reached means decisions. Number 5, people who guide the country. Who are people who guide the country? This is the government. Number 6, tell people about something. To tell people about something means to do what? To announce. Do something for yourself. It means you can do things by your own. You don't need anyone's help. It means you are independent. Number 8, a person who runs for office, like or class president, for example, this is candidate. Number 9, of a great value. Something of a great value. This is like a revision for our previous vocab words. Of great value means precious. Precious. Number 10, very angrily. Very angrily means furiously. And 11, something found for the first time. That is a discovery. Now, let's watch this video together. While watching, I want you to focus on these questions. How do people make government work? According to this video. Why do people vote? And how do you make your voice count?
Government. How do people make government work? When we vote, we let our government leaders know what we want. We make our voices count. Even though these children are too young to vote, they found a way to tell their government leaders how they feel. By giving a speech outside the Capitol in Washington, D.C., this girl is making her voice count. Abraham Lincoln made his voice count. He ended slavery. His voice mattered, and so does yours. How can you make your voice count?
So according to this video, it doesn't matter how young or small you are, you can still make your voice count. So how do people make government work? We can say by telling them what we want, as mentioned in the video. By choosing the right leaders, you can make the government work. And by forcing laws, if there's a law, then everyone should follow the law. By getting educated about government. Also, this lesson is very important, and you should learn how government work. You can find this one on in Mega Pack page 45. Let's move on to our reading lesson. Every vote counts. This is the beginning. This one you can find it in the English book, Reading Writing, page 134, 135. And the question is in the Mega Pack, page 52. Let's start reading. Have you ever voted? Maybe you voted for class president or for pet. Maybe you voted to choose class pet. Maybe your family voted on which movie to see. If you have ever voted, then you know how good it feels. Voting is important. It tells people what you think. Many years ago, the leaders of our country, means American country, in America, not Lebanon, wanted to know what people thought. Thought is the past of think. 2. They wrote, here you have what? Silent letter. A plan for our government. It is called the Constitution. So the Constitution is actually a piece of paper which has a plan. Okay, in it there's a plan on how to build America and what to do for America to be a great country. It gives men and women in the United States the right to vote. One of these plans was to allow men and women in America to vote. They have the freedom to vote and choose their leader. Each year, people who are 18 years and older. So in order to vote, you have to be what? 18 and older. Pick new leaders. They also vote on new laws. Voting gives Americans the power to choose. So here list two situations where voting is important. According to this paragraph, why do you think voting is important? They said more than one thing why it is important. I want you to mention two things. We can say, for example, voting tells people what you think and it gives us the power to choose. Let's continue. Teaching kids to vote. In America, they teach kids to vote. If you looked at this picture, you can see this is like a school and they are running an election day. Election day is here. They want to teach the kids about voting. Let's see why. Did you know that only about 6 out of every 10 Americans vote? If you have, for example, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are 10 Americans. Only 6 of them vote, and the 4 do not vote. Why are they mentioning this fact? Because as the authors say, that's sad. So the author think that this is sad that we only have 6 Americans out of 4 voting. Now he should the author is going to tell us why this is sad. Some people think that voting is too hard. Now he's telling us why these 4 are not voting. They are unsure. This is an important word. Unsure. Unsure is made of 2 parts. Un, okay, means not, and I have the word sure. They are unsure where to go to vote. They think it takes too much time. Now, a group called Kids Voting USA is trying to convince everyone to vote. So, according to these statistics, that only 6 people in America are voting out of 10, and the other 4 think they are not voting because they don't know where, they don't know how, for example. So a group, in order to solve this problem, a group of people, including kids, they named themselves Kids Voting USA. They are trying to convince everyone to vote. I believe they are going to start with schools. Kids Voting USA teaches kids that voting is important. The group gives teachers lessons to use in their classroom. So these kids, they go to schools and they actually give teachers ideas how can they explain importance of voting to their kids. First, kids read stories and do fun activities about government. They also learn how to choose and elect a good leader. Choose means elect, okay? So they also learn how to choose and elect a good leader. How do you think we can choose a good leader? We should learn more about that leader. If you want to know if this leader is a good leader for our country, we should learn more. We should get more information about this person to see if we will vote for him or no. Question: what is the role of Kids Voting USA? So, what do they do? As mentioned in this paragraph, they are trying to convince everyone to vote. Kids Voting USA is trying to convince everyone to vote. Moving on to page 137. Next, kids talk with their families. They reread. I have another word with the prefix. Re means again. So reread means read again. Okay? They reread stories about candidates. Who are candidates? These are the people who want to be chosen as leaders. So a candidate is a potential leader, means someone who's running for um, president, for example. If people voted for this candidate, he will win and becomes the leader. Families discuss their ideas and make decisions. They choose, they reach to a judgment. That way, when it's time to vote, kids know who they want to vote for. Okay? That's how kids will be involved in the actual election. They will know who's this leader, who's good, who's bad, according to their parents. On election day, kids get to vote just like adults, but of course in schools, not in the main place where actually adults are voting. They use ballots like the ones in real elections. This is a ballot box and this is a ballot. A ballot is a special form with the names of candidates on it. Kids mark their choices on the ballot. Let's say I have person A, person B, person C. These are the candidates. And there's a tick or a box next to each option. And then the kids will, for example, I want to choose to B, so they mark the box next to B. Then they put the ballot into a special box. Finally, all the votes are counted and recounted. Re means again, so recounted means counted again. The winners are announced. It means that they would stand up and say the names of the winners, and everyone knows who won. Why is it important to learn about candidates? Think about it. Why do you think it is important to know about candidates? That's because it's important to know about candidates so we know who we want to vote for. We cannot vote for someone we don't know anything about. Now we will move on to page 138. Vote now. Voting helps kids learn how to be independent. What do we mean by independent? Means think for themselves. It also gives them the power to share how they feel. We said that in the beginning. Voting is important because it tells people what you want and it gives you power. Kids Voting USA wants kids to vote now. There's a good reason. They estimate that when these kids grow up, more of them will vote. Remember that in the beginning, our main problem was that 6 out of 4 Americans are voting. So they started with kids at younger age in order so these kids when they grow up more of them will vote. So maybe as kids they will convince let's say 2 or 3 of them to vote. So now they will have bigger number of Americans, maybe 8 Americans will vote in the future. Why? Because as kids they learned about the importance of voting. In about 10 years, kids your age will be old enough to vote. You will have the power to help elect, choose great leaders, and make new laws. Isn't that exciting? So, as you can see, this is a graph. Vote for a class pet. What do you want? A hamster, hermit crab, guinea pig, or a mouse? Now, who's the winner? You can see here that the winner is the guinea pig. Why? Because it got more votes. Okay, the mouse got 4, the guinea pig got 7, hermit crab got 5, and the hamster got 4, just like the mouse. So the winner here is the guinea pig. Now let's move on to the question. Why is teaching about voting important for kids? You should be able to answer this question. It's because it's important to teach kids about voting so more will vote when they grow up. That was the end of the lesson, and now we will move on to fill in this author's point of view. Author's point of view. Now, what does the author think about voting? When we read this lesson, or when you read the lesson, you're going to be convinced. The author is also trying to convince you about voting, that voting is really important. Starting from the title. What is the title of the lesson, if you remember? The title is Every Vote Counts. Okay, so the title of this lesson is Every Vote Counts. He's trying to tell us from the beginning that your voice counts. Your voice can make a change. You have the power to change. So from the beginning, the author is trying to convince us that voting is important. The author thinks it's sad that only 6 of every 10 Americans vote. Okay, so also I will add an S here. So also the author is trying to show his feelings, that he's sad about the fact that not all Americans vote. It means he wants all the Americans to vote. Voting gives Americans the right to choose. He's empowering Americans, giving them the power, telling them, don't sit and do nothing. You have powers. You can choose. So, based on all these details, what can we say about the point of view of the author, that voting is important and everyone should vote? This is the author's point of view. It's clear, right? That he thinks that the voting is important and everyone should vote. Now, regarding the genre of the lesson, this is expository. Expository. Why? Because it gives facts and information about a topic, which is voting. It has headings that tell what a section is about. If you remember the headings, um, let me see if I can go back. You see, this one is a heading. Vote now. This is the heading. So it has heading, and expository text has heading. It has also graphs, as you can see. Let's go back. It has headings that tell what a section is about. It has text features such as a bar graph, the one that we saw about the favorite pet. The vocab strategy is about prefixes. Prefixes. What is a prefix? Is a word part added to the beginning of a word. That's a prefix. It changes the meaning of a word. The prefix "un" means not. The prefix "re" means again, do it again, like reread means read again. Unusual means not usual. The prefix "dis" means opposite. Disagree means opposite of agreeing, for example. Disbelief, opposite of belief. Let's do some exercise about the genre. Women in Congress. Women in Congress. Here we have a bar graph. Today, many members of the United States Congress are women. It hasn't always been that way. No women had ever served in Congress before 1916. That year, Jeannette Rankin from Montana was the first woman to be elected, to be chosen to the House of Representatives. She was elected even before women had the right to vote. Then in 1922, Rebecca Felton from Georgia became the first female senator. So, how do we know? Here we can say number of states in 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. States represented by women. I have 30 states represented by women. States not represented by women, I have almost 20. Okay, so more women are being elected by Americans to represent their states. How can I know that this text is expository? Um, because it has facts, of course. How can you tell that this is an expository text? It tells facts about women in Congress. What two text features does the text include? The bar graph, probably, and the heading, maybe the facts or the dates or the real names. We have heading and I have bar graph. Now let's move to our vocab strategy. You can open, these two pages are found in the mega pack, page 49 and 50. Underline the word in each sentence that contains a prefix. Define the word on the line. It was unusual to see my dog playing in the snow. Which word is a prefix or has a prefix? It's the word unusual. And what does it mean? Not usual or not normal, because un means not. Number two, the two brothers disagreed about which animal is faster, the cheetah or the lion. Which word has prefix? It's the word disagreed, and it means not in agreement. Number three, we are reviewing chapter one for the test. Which word has a prefix? It's the word reviewing, and it means to look at again or review again. This is the end of our lecture. Thanks a lot for watching. See you during our Zoom.